After months of testing and improvements, the first version of AImagine is finally here, ready for download and packed with powerful options. In this video, we'll walk through the entire tool step by step and see how you can start using it right inside 3ds Max. Let's begin by opening the app. First, make sure you have AV Studio Tools installed. Then go to the App Store menu, open AV Studio Tools and select AImagine to launch it. This is the interface. You can work with two images, the left and the right, and in the prompt area you can enter your text prompt. You can open the menu to access all the available options and generate an image with this button. From the options menu, you can also load images from your hard drive. For example, I can load this house render as my left image and another one as the right image. If you prefer, you can also right-click anywhere to access the same menu, a faster way to load your viewport or rendered images directly. Let's say I change my viewport to shaded mode. I can now load this shaded view as the left image. That gives me a quick visual comparison between shaded and wireframe versions. Now, under the view options, we can fit our images to the window. This allows you to pan, zoom, and export the images while always keeping them in view. If you resize the window, the images will automatically adjust. You can also view the actual image size 1:1 or fit both images again with one click. If you want to center the comparison slider, use the reset slider option. This instantly places it in the middle. The last two view options let you load either the left or right image directly into 3ds Max. From there, you can use all the usual tools to compare, save, and work with the images just like any other bitmap inside Max. Next, under Options, you can specify where all your generated images will be saved. For example, if I set the folder to Demo, every image I create will be automatically placed there. From the same menu, you can open that folder in Windows Explorer, select additional APIs, and assign quick shortcuts for them. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. The Show Status Label option lets you toggle the status information at the bottom of the window. If you want a clean, minimal interface, you can hide it, but I'll leave it visible for the demo. You can also enable or disable gesture shortcuts and choose whether the tool automatically fits the image to the window when zooming. If you enable this, when you zoom in near the window border, the image will automatically fit and stay perfectly inside the frame. Another useful option is Show Prompt section on Startup. If it's enabled, the prompt area will always be visible when you open AImagine. Finally, we have options to sort APIs and API groups alphabetically. Personally, I prefer the natural order I've already arranged, but you can organize them however you like. Now let's look at the API selector. We have groups of APIs, each with several models inside. For example, if I select the Google Gemini Flash model, I can enter a prompt like, convert this model into a modern house in the countryside. I can adjust a few parameters such as match input size and aspect ratio and then generate the image on the right. Here's the result. This is the Google Gemini version of our house. Now let's continue editing it. I'll ask Google to convert this scene into a night version. Instead of generating from scratch, I'll use this button. It tells the tool to continue from the previously generated image using the same API. And here we go. This is the night version of the same image. Now let's take a closer look at gesture shortcuts. They're designed to help you work faster without needing to open menus or search for buttons. To access them, simply click inside the image area and drag your mouse slightly outside the frame. You'll see a text label appear inside the image showing which shortcut you're about to trigger. Let's go through each gesture one by one. Gestures on the top from left to right. Load left image from file. Quickly pick any image from your computer as your left input. Load rendered as left image. Perfect when you want to use your latest render directly from 3ds Max. Load viewport as left image. Loads whatever's currently active in your viewport, shaded or wireframed, directly into the left image slot. Center, reset both images. If you want to clear everything and start fresh, just drag toward the center and release. Right from the top center, these are the same options but for the right image, so you can load your viewport, rendered image or file for quick comparison. Let's test another workflow. I'll load my viewport again using one of the gesture shortcuts. Now I'll select a different API, and if I want to reuse a previous prompt, I can simply hold Ctrl+ up arrow to go back through the last 20 prompts. This version looks a bit different. It's generated by an older API. Let's update it. In the API configuration, I can duplicate this API, give it a new name, and edit the endpoint to use the newer version. Once I save, I can run the same image again using the updated model, and as you can see, the new version has more detail and improved quality. Let's look at how we can configure and manage APIs. For example, I'll select the ComfyUI local model. These model definitions will be available for download from our website. In the configuration panel, you can edit API settings directly. Each API has different parameters. If you hover your mouse over an option, you'll see a helpful tooltip explaining what it does. You can copy, rename, or tweak existing APIs to create your own versions, for instance, an enhanced model with higher detail or more steps. Once saved, you can use your new configuration right away. Now let's see this in action. I'll use my local ComfyUI Flux model with its default prompt. In just a few seconds, we have a more detailed version of our render. The geometry has changed slightly, that's normal, as AI models interpret shapes differently. Let's try another local model, ControlNet. This one converts the image into black and white edges and generates a new result from that. Here's the outcome. The colors are different, but the structure is close to the original. Next, let's use Stable Diffusion. It's an older model, but still useful for quick upscaling or base enhancements. Now I'll generate the right image using the Stable Diffusion upscale model. Here's the upscale result, not perfect, but sharper and more detailed, especially in smaller features. Let's move on to the Queen Image Edit model. This one is designed for edits, so I'll ask it to convert the scene to a night view. Here's the night version generated locally. Now I'll try Star Transfer using the Queen Star Transfer model. We'll take our current image as the first input and another reference as the second to transfer its style. When you see Style Transfer in the configuration name, that means the model uses both the left and right images together to generate the new one. And here's the result, a transformed version of our house with the reference style applied. It's not perfect, but quite creative. Finally, I can enhance this image again using the custom enhanced API we created earlier. By pressing Ctrl+Enter, I can execute the last prompt instantly without touching the mouse. This version looks cleaner with slightly better textures and lighting. You can keep improving the image by generating again until you're satisfied with the result. If you want to use cloud APIs, here's where you can create your own keys. For Google AI Studio, go to aistudio.google.com, click Get API Key, create a project if needed, and then copy your key. For Replicate, visit replicate.com, account API tokens, and generate your token. For MyArchitectAI, go to myarchitectai.com API and contact their team directly to get your key. For Stability AI, head to platform.stability.ai account keys and click Create API Key. And for FreePick, check freepik.com API. They offer a free tier with several image generations per month. Once you have your keys, just paste them into the custom settings area in AImagine and you're ready to start generating images using those APIs. Every local API or model included with AImagine has its own license information and usage policy. You can find this by opening the API configuration window, selecting the model from the list, and then opening the Info tab. Here you'll see an information section that contains details about the model, including the license agreement and usage restrictions. I really recommend taking a moment to read through them so you understand what each model can be used for, especially if you plan to use the generated images for commercial projects. And that's our overview of the first version of AImagine, now officially available for download. As you've seen, you can mix different APIs, work locally or through cloud services, experiment with prompts, and create unique image variations, all directly from 3ds Max. We'll keep adding new videos with tips, new models, and updates. If you have questions, leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more tutorials on AImagine and our other tools. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.